Why hello, it's been a while. Hi guys, my name's Jamie and welcome back to my channel. It has been too long. You know what? It's been too long. It's been too long. I have had a bit of a busy week and a half, so I haven't had the chance to sit in front of the camera and film, but I'm here now, so that's all we're going to say. Disappearing from YouTube is something I never want to do, so if you feel like it's been quite a while since you saw a video, message me and be like, where are you, what are you doing, come on. And I really enjoyed a video I made a couple of weeks ago that I called INSTA Made Me Do It. It's part of a series that I am doing where I just recreate some looks that I found or people that I've discovered online, and I come on here and try and recreate it via tutorial. I've made one of these videos before and I did that on Mitchell, who's one of my favourite makeup artists here in the UK, and today's look is quite close to home too because this look was created by one of my favourite makeup YouTuber, Instagrammers, whatever. It's just called Kaylee, M-U-A, and she is an Irish makeup artist. That's rude. She's an Irish makeup artist who creates the most insane, sickening looks, and she also makes YouTube videos too. So this is Kaylee, and if you aren't following her already on Instagram, you really should. She's really cool. She speaks to my soul. Kaylee speaks to my soul, and her looks speak to my soul. And the one that I'm creating today is this one. So this is the look that I saw, and I thought, wow. It looks skilled, but it doesn't look unachievable, as in you probably have those colours somewhere in your house if you are a bit of a makeup junkie. So I thought, oh my god, that's a good one to recreate, so here I am. I think it turned out quite well, and I'm here to share how I achieved my version of the look with you all. So if you like the thought of this video and you want to see more Insta Made Me Do It type videos, and if you just like me in general, then give this video a thumbs up because that shows a lot of support and it helps me out. And obviously don't forget to subscribe, it's free of charge and the button's right down there. So that being said, let's get into it. Thank you for watching. Here we go. Kaylee, be proud of me because a girl tried. Let's get into it. Why hello. Now I obviously don't have all the same products as Kaylee, but in the caption of her photo did you hear that horn beep outside? In the caption of her photo she did list the products she used, and I can get a general idea of how to get around it without having to use the exact same things. So the palette I'm going to be using most of is the Modern Renaissance palette, and for the black shadow, which I will be using towards the end, I'm going to be using that one from the Gwen Stefani palette. But you can really use any black shadow you really need to. If Anastasia didn't put a black in here, now that's fine. Find your black shadow somewhere else. So the first thing I'm taking is this Maybelline Fit Me concealer. This is in shade 15, and I'm going to be using this as my eye base. I know that in that look Kaylee used the P. Louise eyeshadow base, and I am going to put my order in for that at some point real soon. Then I'm just taking this flat synthetic concealer brush. You can get one like it really anywhere. And I'm just going to apply that underneath my eyebrow and pull it down. I'm pulling that all the way down to the eyelid. And the reason my brows aren't done is because as of recently I've been kind of feeling the whole doing my brows last type of thing. I don't know why, but I've just been feeling that recently. I've been loving this concealer as an eye base because it doesn't dry down completely matte, and I feel like I just get such a smooth base with this. Once I've applied it to the eye, I just keep patting it in until I feel like it's kind of set on its own. One of the techniques Kaylee uses, which is the same technique I use on myself and on clients, is that I don't actually set my eyeshadow base with any powder. Pat it in until you can't pat it in no more, but you're not going to be putting any powder on it because the tackiness that the concealer has is going to grip onto eyeshadows a lot better. Now taking my Luxe Crease brush, taking my Zoeva Luxe Crease brush, it's the number 228. I'm going to be dipping into this golden ochre shade from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. And I'm just going to be applying that to my crease and blending up towards my brow bone. This is going to be the lightest colour in all the transition. And because there's a bit of a smoke out effect to the shadow, what we're going to be doing is when we get to the end, we're just going to be pulling out ever so slightly. And as of recently, what I've been loving to do is actually just stamping the shadow on. You can see that's very unblended, but I just like to get the shape right, and then I go in and slightly blend the edges. Next, with that same brush, keeping things simple, I'm going to be dipping into the burnt orange shade in the palette. And I'm basically applying that in the exact same place, just a little bit lower. With every colour, I'm going to go a little bit lower, closer to the lid. So you can see we're following the same shape, but we're just getting darker as we go. Next thing I'm going to grab is this Morphe M506 brush. It is a blending brush. That's the brush we were using before, and that's the brush we're using now. So you can see the difference is really quite intense. And I'm going to be jumping into the Real Gar shade, which is a really deep orange shade. And what I'm doing with this again is just basically stamping the colour on, placing it where I want it, and then going back later on to blend. But right now we just want to get the shape right. Following that same shape, applying the shadow, and then when I get to the outer corner, pulling it out. But with every darker colour, you're not going to pull it out as far as you did the last. So the first colour, you're going to pull out quite a lot. The second colour, just pull it out a little bit less. This colour, even less. So on and so forth. Now to blend those edges out, instead of just using the same brush and spreading that colour everywhere, I'm going to go back to the brush we were using before, the 228 by Zoeva, and jump into the shade we were using before, which was Burnt Orange. And I'm going to blend out the real Gar shade with the Burnt Orange shade. One thing Kaylee and I definitely have in common, and that I die for, is every time she does an eyeshadow look, she blends it out to about here. And I just die for a blown out smoke. It's my new favourite thing to do. Okay, now we're going to be really brave and jump into this 224 blending brush by Zoeva, which is just like a really small blending brush again. And I'm going to be jumping into the Cypress Umber, which is a dangerously pigmented and dark brown eyeshadow. So I'm going to be placing it just right about there, almost where the natural crease of my eye is. And again, when I get to the outer corner, I'm pulling out very slightly. Okay, how exciting. So the last colour... So the last colour of this stage is going to be the black. Now again, that palette doesn't have a black, so I'm just using a different black. I'm going to be using that same brush, the 224 by Zoeva. So far, for all this blending, we've only used 3 brushes, which really isn't that bad. We are going to use more, but so far, 3 brushes. I'm going to be using the black that is in my Gwen Stefani Urban Decay palette, but the name of this shadow is Blackout. It's by Urban Decay, and you can buy it on its own, and it's probably the best black eyeshadow ever. And what I'm going to be doing with the black is really nothing confusing. I'm going to be dabbing it on mostly on the outer edge. I just want this part to be the darkest. I want it on the outer edge, and I want it to come almost onto the eyelid as well, but not too far. I'm not even being that technical. I'm kind of just placing it on the outer corner and then making small circular motions with my hand, and that's kind of blending it. And that's all the black that I'm going to use. Okay, next thing I'm going to cut my crease, and again I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, but this is in the lightest shade, 0.5, or is it 0.5? Yeah, 0.5. You really want the lightest colour you can find in concealer to cut your crease, because the shade that we're going to use on top is a light shade, as you can see. So we really want to use a really light concealer to get that nice fine cut. Usually by habit, to cut my crease, I always go in with a big synthetic brush like this. Kaylee calls these shovels, which I die for. And Kaylee uses a much smaller lip brush to cut her crease, and to be fair, every time I've tried this, I've loved it. I've loved using a smaller brush, but just out of habit I use a bigger one. So today, in true Kaylee fashion, today I'm going to be using this lip brush by Sephora. Now, cutting a crease on camera really isn't the easiest thing to do. If you want a dedicated video on cut creasing, and I'll really do the setup so that it makes it a bit easier, leave your suggestion in the comment box down below, and I'll try and do that. I'm going to do it as well as I can. I'm going to be cutting my crease so that when I look straight ahead, you can still see the concealer cut just a little bit. You can see I didn't cut the crease all the way down. It's more like a half cut crease, which I know is Kaylee's favourite thing. Now, because I've got it on hand, I'm just going to use this light colour in that Gwen Stefani palette. It's called Blonde. I'm going to use that. But really you can use any light, cream, white, anything you want. And I'm just going to set that concealer with this colour. Now back with the Modern Renaissance palette, I'm going to dip into Burnt Orange with that 228 Zoeva brush and just place it on the outer edge, just so you can see some of that orange coming through. Doing that same thing with the real Gar. And then you want to bring that black back as well, so you want to dip back into your black and place it again on the outer edge where you may have lost it a little bit. Okay, now for probably the most intricate part of the whole look, it is the liner with the pigment. So what I just used quite simply was a black liquid liner. Use any black liquid liner you want to use, or you could use a gel. It's really up to you what you use here. Pencils would work great. Use whatever you want. And we're just going to be putting some black liner on. Now what you don't want to do is wing the liner. You want to stop the liner when it hits the black shadow. That's why we put the black shadow there, so it looks like it blends seamlessly. So I'm going to start, and we're going to see how this goes, because doing eyeliner on camera is potentially worse than doing a cut crease on camera. But we're going to make it work. You're going to stop it round about there. Now you don't want to make it too thick, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But quickly, what you want to do is grab your pigment. So the pigment I'm going to be using to get that Kaylee look is MERMAZE by Peaches and Cream. This is an amazing pigment because it hasn't got a pure colour. You can put it on top of any colour you want, but the reflex and the glitter are blue. So it's hard to explain, but you'll see what I mean when I put it on top of that black liner. Now you can use any precise brush for this. I wouldn't use a fluffy brush because the pigment will go everywhere. So I'm just actually going to be using that same brush I used to cut the crease, and I'm going to be placing it on top of the black liner. Like, how stunning is that? See, now I'm obsessed with that. Now, you could leave it there. If you're more of a beginner, you could leave it there. But what Kaylee done, which I absolutely loved, let me remind you, I'll put the picture here. She did another line of the black liner on top of that, just to get that crisp sort of effect. So of course we're going to be trying that. Now, I did it on the other eye without any problems, but this may be a bit more tricky. So we'll see. Let's go. Wish me luck. Okay, I done it. I can't believe it. Now for mascara, I'm going to be using the Light Camera Flashes Mascara by Tarte. And I'm super excited to put these lashes on because it's my first time putting them on. Doll Beauty were actually kind enough to gift me a pair of their lashes. Now these are the CHER lashes and I'm going to be putting these on off camera. I'm super excited. First time using their brand. Well, for lashes, but we all know I love the highlighter. So I'm going to stick them on off camera, come back and give you my initial response, but I'm really excited. Okay, now it's hard to tell you how obsessed I am with these, but let me just talk about them for a minute. They're very gappy, which I like for this look, because you want to be able to see all the hard work you've done. They're not the type of lash I would usually go for, but when I tell you that I'm obsessed, I mean, I'm not joking. Definitely something different and something to get used to, but Doll Beauty, y'all came through. Okay, so the top half of the eyes is done, and because this tutorial is mainly focused on the eyes, I am going to run off camera to do my foundation and concealer, because let's be real, when I look at all of Kaylee's pictures, she just loves a full coverage, bronzy skin, and that's me too. So I am going to go and just do foundation and concealer, we'll finish the eyes, then we'll do the rest, okay? Okay, I'm back, and I'm going to zoom you in so we can finish off the bottom of the eyes. So first of all, using golden ochre, I'm going to go underneath the eyes. Then I'm going to go in with a little bit of burnt orange as well. And with every colour, I'm just getting closer and closer to my lash line. And as I get to the outer corner, I'm pulling out and meeting up with the top. Sorry, I realised my microphone wasn't on. Now just grabbing an even smaller brush, I'm going to jump into the real Gar, the dark orange. And again, just pulling out at the edges. Now I'm just going to jump into the Cypress Umber dark brown. And with this, I'm not going to put it all under. I'm just going to start from about here and pull it backwards. Now in Kaylee's photo shoot, it appears to have like a maroon dark reddish liner inside the waterline, but I don't have one of those on me. So what I'm going to go in with is this Kiko Intense colour liner. It's more of a metallic brown. And there we have it, guys, the eyes are done. I'm living. Now just to bronze up my face a little bit, I'm going to be going in with some MAC Studio Fix Powder Foundation. This is in the shade NW43. And I'm just lightly dusting that kind of all over my face, really. And I'm just using a Zoeva 127 brush, which is becoming my new favourite for bronzing. Now for highlighter, I'm going to be going in with Doll Beauty once again. This is in the shade Shine Bright. So I'm just jumping into that with a large fluffy eyeshadow brush. I'm just going to do some detailed highlighting. Hitting up the Cupid's bow, tip of the nose, kind of like the front of the brow. I'm going to hit up my brow bone a little bit, and of course the cheekbones. But can you see that? Now you're probably wondering why there's nothing in my brows. That's what I've been loving doing recently, just doing the slightest little thing, getting some product out of them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump in with Gimme Brow by Benefit. This is just a brow gel, a coloured brow gel, and I'm just brushing it through. And because the tails of my brows aren't as long as I like them to be, I'll take a little bit of pencil and just extend the length of my brow and do a little bit of detail filling in if need be. Now with the look, Kaylee had on dark nude, reddish nude dark lip. So to achieve that, I'm going to grab this NYX retractable lip liner in the shade Sand Beige. Now I'm going to take this NYX again. This is the Butter Gloss, and this is in the shade Praline. Ooh. Ooh. Going to give myself a quick spray with the MAC Rose Scented Fix Plus, and I believe we're done. Okay guys, and that is it. So thank you very much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. I really wanted to come on and try my best at recreating that look. I was obsessed with it when I first saw it, and I still am now that it's on my face. I feel like I did it justice. I'm proud of what I've done. But thank you all so much for watching, and I do promise more videos are coming at you very soon. So I really did hope you enjoyed this one. Let's be real, this is very detailed and skilled. Someone who has never applied eyeshadow may not be able to do this the first time, but that's not really the point. I do have a basics series coming for all you guys that are really new and beginners to makeup, but this was just something fun for me to come on here and do. I love recreating looks that other people have done. By doing these Insta Made Me Do It looks, I'm also sharing some of my favourite makeup artists with you guys. So if you're interested in who inspires me when it comes to makeup and stuff like that, then just follow these people I'm talking about. Because any girl or boy that can walk out the house and go to Asda to get milk with this on their face, that's who inspires me. So yeah, if you like this video, then please give me a thumbs up because the button is right there, girl. I would also absolutely love if you subscribe to my channel. All that's really doing is showing me some support. Of course, it doesn't cost anything, and you would just become part of my makeup crew. And if you want to turn your notifications on so you can get notifications on your phone whenever I upload, you can do that at your own discretion. But yeah, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, and stay snatched, and be nice to people. Bye.